Hello everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about a common occurrence as we start to practice meditation a little bit more intensively. And this occurrence, or this set of occurrences, is called the 5 hindrances. Hindrances because they hinder or prevent our meditation practice from progressing, because they cloud our view, they create the wrong view. As we start to practice meditation, different things present themselves, different moods, different states, different emotions, different views. It's a little bit like the weather. So the weather is constantly changing. It's not the same weather every day. Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's rainy, sometimes hailing, sometimes it's very hot, sometimes very cold. And when we are meditating, we are just committing to going for a walk outside despite the weather. So we continue to show up for this walk. I continue to take a walk. It's raining. I take a walk. I enjoy the rain. But as soon as we let that weather prevent us from going outside, so we hide from the weather, we don't want to face it, this is a little bit like letting the hindrances hinder our practice. So despite these hindrances, we continue to show up for the practice, to show up for ourselves and to practice the technique. The 5 hindrances are liking, disliking, worry, sleepiness, and doubt. So these hindrances, the first one, liking. When liking is present, there is some kind of story about what we are wanting, what we are desiring, usually some kind of sensual desire, thinking about what I want to eat, planning something in the future. When we start engaging with this more and more, and it starts to conceal or hide our awareness, so we start to just follow that instead of being aware of the moment. Similarly, disliking. This is also called aversion. When there's aversion present, especially towards a pain, maybe there's some discomfort in the body, maybe there's aversion towards some memory, aversion towards thinking about something in the future, and we start circling in that rather than just recognizing the present moment. Thirdly, we have worry or restlessness. So a worried or restless mind is anxious, has a lot of restless energy. You might feel this in the body. You might be very fidgety and want to continuously shift, sort of discomfort. In the mind, you might have this kind of very jumpy monkey mind, which is flitting around, cannot rest at all. And this also tends to disrupt our practice or take us out, because we fail to recognize that as just a state. Fourthly, we have sleepiness. So when the mind is very sleepy, very lazy, we start to identify with that. We start to drop into a very lazy mode. We maybe start dreaming, drifting, becoming very lazy, also very soft in the body, sinking down to the floor. And here, what the thing to do is just to rouse a little bit more investigation, a little bit more curiosity about what is really happening. Fifthly, we have doubt. So doubt is a really tricky one, because it can really block or hinder our practice, because we start to just doubt about if we're doing the practice right. Is this practice right for me? Is this a good technique? Am I good at this? We are doubting about how we're actually doing it. And it actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because when we are doubting, we are just continuously thinking about doubt and circling in that, rather than just recognizing the doubt and continuing to stay with the reality of the moment, the reality of walking, the reality of breathing and sitting. So each of the hindrances, they start somewhere. They usually start with something small, and they grow and take over our entire body and mind. So the key to work with the hindrances is firstly just to recognize when the hindrance is present. Recognize, oh, I'm just doubting the practice, or oh, I'm liking something, I'm chasing after some thoughts, or oh, there's just worry, there's anxiety present. So the first thing is just to recognize when it's present, and also recognize when it is not present, to realize that this hindrance is not something true. It is something, just a state which is there, which is coloring our thought, our emotion. And when it is not there, we also see that, now this hindrance is not present. So when we start doing that, we stop identifying with the story. We stop buying into the story that this hindrance is creating. The story of everything being wonderful, the story of everything being a source of worry, the story of everything being a source of doubt. And we stop taking this hindrance personally. So when we have doubt, we might take this doubt very personally, or I am so bad, or I am so worried, or I am so anxious. But actually, it is just a state of body and mind. It is just the nature of body-mind which is appearing. So we stop taking this hindrance so personally. In general, this is the way to work with the hindrances. Of course, you will find your own way to relate to these things. But the key thing is just to continue to come back to the very moment, to recognize the presence of the hindrance and to come back to just standing, to just breathing. Thank you.